Hello everyone, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on part 23 of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. I'm just trying to find a stream here. There we are. So last time we did the flashback tape, and finish up the hidden gem for stowing away. Now we can move on to this one. Crash Landed. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You can subscribe to Kev Plays 9490 on YouTube, and or follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. So let's just jump right into a normal level for once. See what we can do here. Okay, so we've crash landed, as the title suggests, from Oxide Ship. And I remember this one's it's a very loaded level, so let's see what happens. God. This harkens back to Snow Go. Or was it one of the snow levels in Crash 2 where you're in the ice and you have to get that one TNT? It almost mirrors. It almost mirrors that setup of the boxes for that first patch of ice. Now I do have to worry about my Wumpas, so let's make sure not to take any shortcuts with that. Here we go. Very bizarre level. We're in an alien planet here, it looks like. I think we're good. I want to go, but this guy... I know what's going to happen. I'm going to decide to go. God. There's a guy there. Watch out for these little starfish guys. What a beautiful level, by the way. Look at this. It's very creative. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Nope. This is like a trial run of this place, so we'll see how we do. Oh my god. The ice is like very sensitive. Not the, well, you know what I mean, the goo, the slipperiness. Do not like those fish things. I think these fall. Oh man. Depth perception did not agree with me there. I'm not sure if this is like a colored gem path, but we do have all the colored gems, so it should be good in terms of trying to get all the boxes. I did manage to get 3 insanely perfect relics over since the last episode on my, like, master playthrough. And I did, like, the 3 last, levels that we've done on this, which is everything in, like, the... Okay, the slide jump doesn't work there either. That's something to note. There's nothing up here, right? Just making sure. But, yeah, I got it on stowing away, shipping error, and whatever the first one is. So now I have, on that playthrough, and every level up until Crash Landed. I did not get the Insanely Perfect on Crash Landed yet, but every level before that, from the beginning to Crash Landed, I have. Well, not Crash Landed, but you know what I mean, stowing away for the Insanely Perfect. So I'm pretty... It's a little less than... I think it's like 9 more or so, or maybe 8. Oh my god, I'm just not doing good with this. Oh boy. Let's see if we can do this. I gotta be more aware of which platforms I can jump to and which ones I can't. I think I need to, like, use this one. Did you get that life right there? Okay, now we should be good. Alright, let's wait for a better one, because I can see that it lulls you into a false sense of security. I think it would have dipped if I stayed on it. But I guess it didn't. Okay. Checkpoint. Weird jellyfish like sea creature thing. The ocean is basically alien life when you think of it on Earth. Most bizarre creatures in existence that you wouldn't think, you know, bioluminescent and, you know, the seahorses that are male give birth, and octopus that can change camouflage itself. Like, there's so much, and then you go really deep into the ocean, like the, you know, like I said, the bioluminescent ones. But then there's even more bizarre stuff, like probably stuff we haven't even discovered yet. This is pretty much what this level seems to be playing on. It's an alien world, but takes inspiration from what we deal with here, or don't deal with in the ocean, because we know better not to traverse it. Or at least some of us know better. Some of us know better. Okay. I didn't forget anything through my ranting, did I? Okay, cool. Another checkpoint. Alright, so we got a little bit of a ride here. Strange creature, I don't know what we call it, but let's hope not to miss anything. That is R2 boost. God. I shouldn't have took that. Hold on. Let me die, let me die. We're not gonna go for the 3-lifer here. in this run through. We're just trying to get these boxes, really. So I know now to jump up. Oh no, I should not jump up. Okay. Here we are. Oh, I missed it because of the ice. Alright, this is gonna be one of those episodes where we lose a bunch of lives in the trial and error, or we're actually losing real lives this time, not like the flashback tapes. But we got plenty. Beautiful. This time I go up. I didn't like the... damn it. At least I'm getting boxes as I'm doing this, so I'm kind of like alleviating my deaths by getting more lives. Okay, so I tried doing R2. Okay, that worked. Oh god. Missed it. Oh, this is gonna be a wild one. At least I'm getting a little farther in. Definitely much different than the Polar and Pura levels. Similar, but just more out there, really. Okay, how are we doing this? That's that one. That one. We gotta get right here. Oh, I missed it. Alright, at least we know it's not going to be that crazy. It shouldn't be. The checkpoint's right there once we get it. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Don't really have to jump, it seems. Just have to pull the thing where I needed to go. Cool. Pretty sure we did it. Alright, what's he doing? This is... I think this is a glitch. I think he's supposed to run off. Look at that. That's cool. I could just do this for the rest of the episode. Look at that. How far could, how long could I keep it going? It's like a mechanical bull ride. Alright. Let's get these boxes out of the way before we get the checkpoint. That way, oh, and we get the blue gem path right there. Should be interesting. Do I want to save that mask for... I'm gonna save that mask for the blue gem path. Let's see what I can do here. It should bring us back. Hopefully. I need to make sure... I know I have the invincibility, but I need to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, we need to get a action box. I should save these because then we're gonna have a hazard. Okay. Now let's go back. Damn it, I didn't mean to do that one. What's the pattern here? Okay, we're good. Is there anything to the right? Nothing to down this way. Oh wait, there's a... That is a... They wouldn't put that there if we didn't have to go there, so let's try it out. And I'm guessing we're going forward now. Cool. Slippery? Yep. Alright. Oh my god. Wasn't a fan of that. Okay. I guess I could wait for the nitro to be detonated at the end of the level, but I do want to just get these. Cool. Alright, what are we doing here? We're dropping in. Oh! Oh, that wasn't me spinning it. Okay. Hopefully we have our mass. Now, can I go back into this area where they're charging and turn right? No, because the camera's turning us this way, right? Yeah. There's no way that they expect me to go that way. I hope this is the end of it. I remember this level giving me trouble where I missed, like, boxes or something. Oh. I missed some boxes. So I'm hoping that they're not expecting me to go all the way right and then come back or something. Where those guys are charging us. I think we did it. Where does this bring us, man? Find the hidden blue gem in another level. Oh, well, duh. That's how I got here. I wouldn't have the path if I didn't have the blue gem. And look. Now, technically, I should have got the checkpoint after, maybe, but whatever. Let's just... Oh, maybe this is what's going to hang... I have to get through this, or else I'm going to have to do that all over again. I gotta be careful, too, of... Because it's so colorful that I could see boxes just, like, kind of, like, eluding me. I really hope I can get a checkpoint. Bonus. It's big. I'll save these for after. Just get on that bonus. Okay. Ooh. Why do they have to put, like, real-life hazards, like, environmental hazards in the bonus? Was that a thing that in Crash 3, 2, or Crash 2 or 3? Or 1? I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, what do I want to do here? Honestly, I'd rather just jump over. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just spin one. that. That's an action box, so we'll want that, right? Very topsy. Okay, so let's let we can let the nitros get, but we do need Wumpas at the same time. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do this all over again, pretty much. I also don't like the idea of like the seaweed from the top and bottom, like, you know, you really don't know where your pit is, really, or how high or how low you can go. Alright. This is gonna be slipperiness. This is a pretty intense, oh yeah, it's already slippery. Pretty intense bonus. Alright. Don't. Let's try it again. How are we doing? A little less than halfway. Probably should have just not activated that, that way I don't have to deal with the nitros here. I guess I'll learn not to do that next time. I just want to be 100% sure that I'm getting as much Wumpas as possible. That's really the challenge here of this phone. I mean, it's challenging on its own, but... There we go. We don't have our mask anymore. That's not good. Can I just slide spin from here? From back up? Like if I back up? Too early. I hit my head on like the... Alright, this is something we're gonna have to figure out. Two, three, four, five. Okay. Now, I do want to talk about stuff that was revealed and stuff in State of Play, but I think I'll wait till Peppa Pig ever gets here, if he gets here. I do have some rants to go on, for sure. I tried to get in underneath it, but it was going so slow. Once we can seal the deal on this bonus... Damn. I thought I was to the right. Alright, this is gonna be a little bit of a... It's gonna be a little bit of a bonus here. I guess what I will say to follow up what I was talking about last time is you know, my friends were talking about me playing Diablo 4 with them. I got the game at a discount, and I'm playing it. I'm like a level 20 druid at the moment. It sounds so nerdy. I don't really play these type of games like dungeon crawlers. Like I'm a level 20 druid, but I am, and it's a good gameplay loop. I don't think I'm like that super interested in the story, but I can tell the story is very well done. Me being just like having no context really to the world, I don't really have much investment in it. But, you know, it's a fresh story. You don't have to really have played the past games to enjoy it. I gotta just focus here. I can't get in there. I have to jump over, I think. Or I have to slide, at least. Ah, I like, hit my head, and it doesn't crush me. It just, like, slows me down, and then it screws up my momentum when trying to get over that nitro. So, I'm gonna have to figure this out. Damn it. I'd honestly rather have a flashback tape than do this bonus, I feel. I just need to get past that bouncing crate, really. It comes down to. This thing. I feel like I need to jump over it and then kind of play around with my gravity or something. Like that, but not like that. So yeah, I'm slowly but surely going through Diablo 4. I haven't really played with friends yet, though. Like, I kind of just wanted to get a feel of the normal I'm playing on normal difficulty. I want to get a feel of the game. I feel like I have a feel of the game, so now I can... I think if I play with friends, though, they're going to want to play on a tougher difficulty, and then they have to be, like, the party leaders or something. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, that was... I figured out the rhythm of it, I think. Hopefully. Do I need to... What did I just do? I think I can just do this. Oh, what's the play? What's the play? The play is just do this. Oh, I didn't want to fall off, so I kind of inched myself more, but then it slid me. I think I can get past this part. This first part that was giving me trouble. Let's see. Okay. What I did was I just need to be closer while I slide. But not too close. It's like I gotta just figure out the precise placement in order to do this slide. Because if I try to walk through, it's not gonna work. I literally do have to slide. Stressful bonus. That's better. Oh god. Oh man. I was just trying to like brute force through that, hoping that it would just like work, but now I know that it's still a little bit more surgery to be done on this level, on this bonus. Damn it, I lost count. Some count. Like I said, this is a loaded level. And I think you have to do it again on inverted. Good. I think we have it. Okay. I think I did that smarter. Ooh, baby. We did it. 40 out of 40, baby. So, the other game that I actually ended up getting, which is the game I really was planning on getting, because the Diablo 4 purchase, even though it's a discounted thing, it's an inorganic, what I consider an inorganic purchase. I did it for the favor of my friends. I haven't played like an online game with them since like Chivalry 2. Chivalry 2 is a game that I bought as an inorganic purchase. It's something out of my wheelhouse. But I ended up really loving that game. So who knows with this game, if we start playing it. But after Pragmata, I knew I had my eyes set on 007 First Light. And I'm happy to say that I'm only like three chapters in, I think, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm impressed with how much more in depth it is than I was expecting. You know, like it being a game made by Amazon, MGM Studios, I didn't know what to think. There's nothing hidden right here, is there? I'm hoping there's no boxes hidden around. Okay. Let's get those Wumpas. Oh, I see what they're doing, I think. I think I can go on top of here? Cool. Nothing to the right, right? Okay. How are we doing here? Can I get on top of this? I don't want to go into those. Or do I? Because of the Wumpas. Screw it, right? Now we'll go on top. Nope. Whoa! I cannot go to the left. There's an invisible wall. If I go over that platform there. So they definitely want you to go through here. Be on top of this, but I want to get those Wumpas, you know? Okay. What is that? Is that like a bounce? Not the arrow crate, I mean the... Like, what is this thing on the right here? Is that something? Is that a secret? Like, if I jump... Nothing, right? Okay. Let's just go up. Let's just get the TNT. Not worth getting that Wumpa. We got another checkpoint. This is good. This is good. How are we doing? 153 out of 234. We still got a ways to go. Come on, I know you're dying to get me. Okay, there's a nitro up there. Obviously, we're not going to go up there. Why is it... Oh, I know what's happening. I remember this now. Because I was like, why would you put a nitro there if I'm going past it to get the thing? But what it is they expect you to do this. I remember discovering this on my own and being like, wow. Let's get the hidden gem. What is that? What are these things? Okay. They're just things. So that's where the hidden gem is. That's cool. It's cool that I remembered that. Oh god, but that nitro is not pretty. Alright. Let's get back on track. Now can I do the same thing on the other side? I don't think so, right? So far, so good. Okay. Let's be careful to get some Wumpas. Okay, now we're upside down. Okay. Really bizarre level. And it's only the one of a kind, really. But I love the payoff. I love the payoff of being in an Oxide ship and crash landing here. for a detour. Okay, we have the detonation box. Oh, I see there's a box right up there. I'm hoping that I'm doing good with this, because I feel like I am. You got a mask. We get... It's good. Can't go... We have to go back right? Okay. Gotta be careful here. How are we looking with our third? We're still a ways off. It's like, what do they want me to do? Can I go underneath this? The Wumpas are saying you have to, are kind of suggesting you need to go in between. Which I don't like. Oh, because they want me to spin, jump, spin, and then I see what they want me to do. Okay, we'll go back, if we must. Okay, I didn't like that, but we did it. Alright, we got a checkpoint right here. How we doing? 180 out of 234. Now we got another trial and error. How many lives we have? We're back to 99. A lot of concentration. I jumped, so next time I just have to fall, it looks like. Okay. Honestly, after that bonus, I'll take shenanigans like this. Just full. Okay. Oh, I missed it. I guess I could jump over that. Now imagine having to do this without dying. I guess it's doable. It's doable to do without dying because you're not going for all these boxes, but like a nut. Well, look who it is! Help a Pig. How are you? Didn't realize you were streaming. Well, you missed the hard part that I had to go through with this. We're on the last stretch. Looks like we got the... Cool. Oh, I missed it. Did I get a checkpoint? I did. So I've been busy playing Zelda Link to the Past. Alright, good thing I got a checkpoint. I just want to see playing Zelda Link's Awakening, I'm sorry. And good lord, this level, yeah. Oh baby, it's crazy. Oh god. Let's see what we can do. A lot of focusing here. I can't. I can't really like stop and talk, unfortunately. Oh, I gotta go left. I feel for you, man. Thankfully, I'm on the last stretch. I'm hoping that nothing got past me. My memory came into action of me playing this level a million times trying to find that hidden gem, and I actually found it. So that's good. This part's gonna be a little annoying, because I don't remember where the boxes are. I guess I have to go right instead, okay. So I remember doing this level, it was heck. It really is a crazy one. Oh man, I missed it again. All that without dying, yeah, definitely. Hitting all the boxes. That, yeah, for insanely perfect relic, sure. I think I have to just go right. Yeah. Oh. Did not see that. Did I do it? I did it! 234 out of 234. Woohoo! Cool. So I got the hidden gem. Died 18 times, but you know what? We were going for all those boxes, so it's all good. Alright, we did pretty good with that. So now do it again. Okay, let's try it again. It's like a lot of it I got through. I don't want to say it was all luck, but a lot of the things I was dying for was because I was missing boxes. That's really why. So I would kill myself on purpose or what have you. Flashback tape? Is there a flashback tape in this level? There is. I guess I have to find that too. Damn. Gotta be careful of these guys too. Okay. As long as we get our masks, then we should be good. Okay. Doing this in 3 lives should be a cinch. We should do it. It'd be cool to get invincibility while you're riding on something. I guess not. You got this, man. Thank you. Okay. Careful. I'm not gonna even worry about the bonus because I'd rather not die, and because that bonus is pretty tough. I'd rather keep my masks. This works. Interesting that the invincibility mask does not break the checkpoint on its own. I think that was always a thing. I could be wrong. Oh, we got the flashback tape. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it before when I was like when it was like blank, you know, faded out. But that's cool. Oh, that flashback tape was pretty simple. It's simple when you're not going for all the boxes, I feel. When you're going for all the Bumpas and the Wumpa boxes and Wumpas, because I think the Wumpas, I got screwed on them in my original playthrough, where I couldn't get the 80%. You have to like really like go out of your way to get these Wumpas. Oh, damn it! What happened to me? I did get the flashback tape though, right? Dope. I hope they gave me the flashback tape. I think all you have to do is reach it, right? Yeah, I think I have it. I just wish it would tell you that you have it. Like in Crash 2 or 3, you could pause, like you can press triangle and it would show you that you have the gem or the crystal or whatever. I got a little hasty, that's what happened. A little cocky. There we go. Now we just gotta get to the end with this little guy. Oh man. I should've got that mask, but whatever. That mask works. I'll take that. Checkpoint. Oh, come on. Damn it. I'm like in free fall, but I can't get up. Oh, I saved myself. That was nuts. Not gonna even question it. Boy. Checkpoint. I feel like I robbed a bank with that checkpoint. That was crazy. Okay, let's try to do it this way. We'll do it the way that I did originally, so it kind of, my muscle memory can kick in, maybe. Hopefully. Beautiful. I don't want any surprises. I think we got it. Cool. Got the flashback tape and the gem for that one. Whew. Okay, so I just checked, and it looks like you spent an hour on this level. Yep, I did. And it was on this level, yeah. But it was really, like, honestly, it was a lot of trial and error. Like, doing the first half that you missed, that was the... Or more than half. That was really intense. The bonus was giving me it was like a nightmare. I'd rather do a flashback tape than that bonus, I think. Or no, probably not. I'm probably being. I gotta be careful what I wish for. All right, so here's Bermuda, a hole in space. All right, so we're at it. Is this is? You're gonna have so much fun with the other levels. Am I now? Here we go.
What's the matter, hero? Couldn't solo this one?
Let her go!
The last time I killed her friends, her screams were exquisite.
Huh?
Delicious.
No!
Let's make this fun. Give them a sporting chance.
Ooh. Let's see what you Mongols can do as a pack.
Follow.
What's this?
Door between dimensions.
What do we have here? Bumpa berries?
Reality shattering proportions.
Interdimensional domination.
Something monumentally stupid!
Yeah.
Not from our universe.
I fly solo.
Is this all there is? Forever?
New partner.
Did I get that one? Damn it. I know there's a thing if you get all the Bumpa berries. And I've done it before. I'll probably do it at some point. Go back and get it. Well, I can't. I missed it. I know. But do you want me to do it over? I'll do it over. I can just keep restarting, right? Alright, let's try
Door
it.
between dimensions.
Reality shattering proportions.
Interdimensional domination.
Something monumentally stupid!
Not from our universe.
I fly solo.
It's this part that was jamming me out.
Is this all there is? Forever?
New partner.
Okay, that's how I do it.
Scheming behind my back. We're out of our endless cycle.
I feel like I...
Wanna get out?
We can't lose the rest of this. Stop whatever's opening this. Ease. Hit some entropy blast.
Oh ho ho! Woohoo! That is so... I love
In my
that.
universe, bandicoots are considered pests. Is fit for extermination as a housefly.
Oh, how modern.
The meme.
More.
The power of memes. I love how we're just like we're going backward and forward in time. We're going to different dimensions, and of course we're reaching out into our own dimension of just like Crash Bandicoot memes, like in a Crash Bandicoot game. You said if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Oh, don't worry, I did it. Alright, this part I remember I remember
keep them as pets, but
my original playthrough, I lost so many lives
Find
doing
it
this part when I had lives on. So if I can get past this part without going... I mean, it should be fine, but...
Sting, I much prefer spiders.
But I remember this part, this platforming section really
So elegant, spiders.
had me crazy. Oh, so yeah. I guess that's the trial and error.
Ooh, wicked.
Alright, I need to give my thoughts on State of Play. I need to too, but it's like these are... I can't really stop, you know? I can pause it and talk, but let's just see if I can at least beat this. And then... But yeah, give your thoughts. Go ahead. Damn it. Do I have to do the whole thing? Wait, you haven't done it yet? Done what yet? No, I didn't talk about the state of play because I was waiting for... I was like, you know, I'd rather talk about it with you. I figured, let me focus on a level for once. And it still took me an hour to get through that crash-landed level, but at least we did it. Damn it. So, alright, I'll wait then. Well, since this is gonna take... I'm at a checkpoint in this part, at least. I'm kind of like... I'll just talk as I play, at least for this part. Just to start, I think Wolverine really won me over more so than it ever has. I love how visceral and violent and gory it is. I love how, like, the blood stays on him and kind of dries up. I think there's something to Wolverine that he heals himself in a certain way that it's sort of a superpower, makes him a little bit of a kind of I don't want to say invincible, but invulnerable. Says this is right. They ain't playing with that Wolverine game. I thought it was great. Yeah. I think Insomniac is like they're cooking big time with that game. But my only lineage to Wolverine as a kid was I had, and this is one of those things I'm not even sure if it's true or not, but I swear it must be. I believe it is true. Is that when I was like a young child, I had like a big wheel. Like a tricycle, like a big wheel, and it was a Wolverine tricycle, like a Wolverine big wheel. It was like blue and yellow or whatever it was. This is like when I'm like 3 years old or so, or however old you are when you know. That's literally my only. Childhood memory of Wolverine in terms of like my connection to the character. But I always knew of the character, obviously, but so it's cool to see a game like this. I think a lot of the worry was like, you know, with Spider-Man, he's such a traversable character. He can swing on the web and go anywhere he wants in the city. Whereas Wolverine doesn't really have the power to fly, but he really does get around quick, and he's... Whoa! and he'll do whatever he can to get around. Like, I love how uncharted and cinematic it was in, like, you know, that section where, like, the trucks, and he's jumping from one truck to the other, and he's going under the truck, and, like, he's rolling around, like, there's, like, machine gun fire hitting him, and he's still, like, going, like, balls to the wall crazy. So I said I watched some of the X-Men movies. Yeah, I never really watched the X-Men movies. I knew of the X-Men movies, but I only watched, like, you know, the Batman movies, Spider-Man movies. I remember I watched the Hulk in theaters, which I think is considered the bad Hulk. I'm not sure. And I think I saw Iron Man also. But Wolverine we just never crossed paths in my, like, teenage or, you know, adult life. But I really like this character. Like, I really like what Insomniac's doing with this. I think this is, like, you know, again, it's from the same creative director who did the Resistance series. So, you know, a creative director who's no stranger to, like, the mature content. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think, like, everything about it, I was like, wow, this is, I'm excited. I'm excited to play this, later on in the year. So yes, I'm very happy. Yeah, Wolverine, strong start to the show. I really like that. Alright, let's see if I can do this.
How our lost puppy's found its way home.
Let's put them down.
God.
Activate the security lasers.
What am I doing? Oh. Oh, I have to get rid of this thing, right? Oh, okay. This is such a cool boss fight, by the way.
By a flea bag? Time to die!
Oh! Alright, just gotta run a little bit more. Said. Oh. Yeah, I figured that. Oh. So they have a checkpoint where he's actually chasing me now, okay. Oh, damn it. I had to be I thought that thing was gonna block her shot, but okay. And it cancels her shot too, which is interesting. Got him. They said they wanted to have fun with me. Okay. Did I do it?
Curse you!
Bandicoots.
We did it!
Yeah, we did.
What's the matter? Unable to handle even the simplest of tasks? I no longer have need for our
Thanks.
alliance.
Right then, let's plug up these holes. Yeah.
Boy, not that it ain't been fun, but a belt might take it home.
Right. Now that we've mended things, we can take you anywhere. Anywhen.
after we rest. For now, I can only get us as far as the culinary capital of the universe. Neon City!
Nachos.
Yeah. I'm with Akano on that one. Ooh. I love this. It's like a little reward world, seemingly, you know? Even though the difficulty, I'm sure, is gonna continue. But, let's mosey over for a second. See, what I want to do is, I guess I want to... Oh, wow. So I like this. I like this, like, reward here. By the way, I also like, I like how they... And by the way, we're at 40% done with, you know, everything. But, what was I going to say? I like how there was a little bit of a story there with... Because the last time we saw Tawna, she tried to go about fighting entropies alone. And she kind of stranded us on the ship for us to figure out how to get off or whatever. But then we showed up when it was too late for her. She was almost about to get defeated, it seemed. And then at the end of us defeating, or, you know, whether you choose Crash or Coco or whatever, in the cutscene, you know, they say like, "Oh, we did it," and then it's like Tawna had this little, you know, realization. It's like, okay, teamwork, you know, like. It's a little, you know, Blue's Clues of, you know, it feels a little Nick Jr. It's like, oh, let's work together or whatever. In a Crash game, I can't see them ever doing that in a game in the Naughty Dog games, being like, you know, because it was like. You had a little cutscene to just be like, oh, she's gonna try to go about alone, and then another cutscene just like, oh, we work together. That was the arc of that, you know. It wasn't really like this big story thing, but like I never noticed that was that it is a story in some way. So that's one thing. It says, let's show this creep the real superpower of teamwork. Yeah, that's a line. I mean. You said could have been more epic. You know, back when Crash Warped ended with Entropy being introduced, and you're thinking, okay, he's like this big bad of like, you know, he's the guy that's like in charge of the Time Twister machine, and then he's the third boss, and you kind of just defeat him. Even though that boss fight I really like, it's very like, whoa, he's gone, and then you have the engine fight, and then Cortex, and then things just go crazy. With the Time Twister. So us defeating him did in Crash 3, it did kind of bring a little bit of like, oh, this is, you know, even though this is a bad dude, he's the only guy that will know how to maintain this Time Twister. But now we know that he's just bad for, you know, he even betrays Cortex in this game. I think at least we got a little bit more mileage out of him, out of Entropies, the Entropies or whatever. In this game, a lot more emphasis. He really is like the front and center villain of the game, in a better way than I think he ever was. And I like that this game did that for us. But yeah, I guess it could have been more epic, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad... Like, I enjoyed that boss fight. I thought it was better than most in the Crash series, I'd say. But I enjoyed it. Where are we? So we just did that, and I'm gonna dedicate the rest of this playthrough to just talking about the state of play, I think. So we talked about Wolverine. Wolverine's great. I actually like wrote. I always like write down as I'm watching like what gets shown, just because I like to have a record of what these state of plays are like, and obviously this one was a big one. They announced this like weeks in advance. They invited press to like a movie theater to show this, to several movie theaters, I think. Um, it definitely was a great. Like I think this was a good state of play. Like overall, I think it was a really good one. And if I'm just to walk it down, like, yeah, they showed Wolverine, then Marvel Tokon. Marvel Tokon's not really my thing, but I think it's a really different PlayStation Studio offering, and what they're doing with that game seems cool. Like, you know, you're basically getting like uh Smash, but with like as like an arcade Marvel you know, universe. Uh Rayman Legends Retold. Again, like I guess this is what that Rayman remaster was for, to kind of lead up to this remake that they're doing. Probably not gonna get that. What stood out to me though? Um, other than the big one at the end, let's see. Stuntman Hollywood seemed cool. That's actually an old PS1 game, I believe. Um, that Stuntman Hollywood. It's a car game, but where you're playing as a stuntman, and it was taking you through like a variety of different like, you know, iconic set pieces, like, you know, or you know, films like Back to the Future, or you know, Miami Vice type. Like that seemed kind of interesting. Control Resonance. They showed more, and they announced the date for September. Obviously, a lot of games are trying to get out of that November month because of GTA 6. And then really that it just Until Dawn 2, another PlayStation Studios game. I never played the original Until Dawn, but I like how Until Dawn 2 is, you know, it's mixing it up. It's no longer like a dark uh you know, kind of like a monster in the woods at night type game. It's now it's like they're on this like tropical island, and it's bright and sunny, but then there's like underlying like, you know, uh evil happening and stuff, and it's gonna be just like the original Until Dawn. And I like these interactive kind of movie type games like that, where that's really like a, you know, an interactive game or interactive story rather than like a more, you know what I mean, like it's kind of more in the line of like Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain or so. um but yeah, then you said, yeah, oh, what else did you like? You said I was very happy with Rayman Legends Retold. It looks like a really cool platformer. um I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if like honestly, I have so much PTSD from the original Rayman that I don't know, you know, what more I can. It's just, I don't know. Like I've never beat the original Rayman. That just bothers me, and it just kind of stops me from buying anything else from Rayman. But I'm sure that game's great. I heard it's also difficult too. You said Until Dawn 2. Didn't expect that. Yeah, definitely. That was cool. And then yes, nothing else really, like other than like Control, which I'm kind of like, I guess I'll get it because I played the original, but I really don't even remember what the original story was. I honestly didn't even understand the original Control. It's so cryptic, and bizarre in how it presents itself, but it really was a good game. But this is a different game, Control Resonant. It's going to be more of like a Devil May Cry type genre in terms of its gameplay. But I don't really remember much of the story. But I think I will do like a recap or something and then jump into that game at some point. Other than that, though, I have to say yes. So we got the one more thing. It's going to be 20 minutes of, they said gameplay, but it really was 20 minutes of, you know, the first 20 minutes of what seems to be the game in some sort. Who knows if it's going to change, but we got this new I think it's Cory Barlog he's not directing it, but he's kind of overseeing it. So it's like, is this the Cory Barlog game or not? But it's God of War, uh, Lawfey, because her name's Faye. So Laufey, I think it's called. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not a fan of the name. We seriously need to talk about this game. There's a lot of discourse about the game that I don't like to see. Um, but I also think there's valid points of criticism about the game that I think is fair, and some opinions that I hold. But overall, this game functionally, it looks great. Conceptually, I'm intrigued. I think it's cool. I have no problem playing as a woman. I think that's such a stupid discourse whenever like there's a woman protagonist in a game, and it's like, oh, we're playing as like, stop. I don't care if I'm playing as a man or a woman. I don't care as long as the game and the story are have an integrity to it and it's awesome. I trust Cory Barlog to or the director. I think her name is Ariel Lawrence. I think the game director. I trust them. I trust Sony Santa Monica to pull us along for an awesome story and an adventure and a great game. I think I remember when it was leaked that Faye was the going to be the protagonist. I remember being like, at first I thought it was Freya. I had it confused. I was like, oh, is that Freya the witch? I was like, okay, that's interesting. Like, are we going to learn more about her? But it's like, no, it's going to be Faye, the character that is really a very important character for the Norse games, but a character that's a blank slate because she's dead from the start. The first game where uh, he they Kratos and Atreus, they burn her body, and then the whole game is taking her ashes up to the mountain top or mountain peak or whatever. Um, there is a strong importance with the character. I appreciate that, and we learn things about her, and there's an air of mystery about her too. Like, what is her relationship with Kratos? How did they meet? Like what drew them together? Then we learn she's a giant, and Atreus is like a half giant, half god, and and that there's a plan set in motion and stuff, and there's a lot of like there's a lot of blank holes to fill in terms of the story with this character. We really don't know much about her, and doing a spin-off with a character like this is different than say doing one with where it's like Breaking Bad and we're gonna do a spin-off with the Saul Goodman character. We know who Saul Goodman is, or at least we think we do. Um, but we know that that's going to be a big selling point for a new game. Um, or no, I mean a new show, because we know who Saul Goodman is. We know Bob Odenkirk. We're down with that. You think about Cheers. Cheers was one of the greatest sitcoms of the '80s, and then in the '90s we got Frasier. Frasier Crane being a fan favorite character from Cheers, getting his own spin-off, and then Frasier became a really great sitcom of the '90s, holding its own. But people tuned in and watched because they knew who Frasier was. With Faye, it's not like, oh my god, finally the Faye game. But at the same time, I am intrigued by the character. Because it's a blank slate, they have freedom to really tell a story that is they have the freedom to tell the story how they want to, without being binded by the pitfalls of how we knew the character previously or so or whatever. There's a lot of exploration you can do with a character like that. You said they burned her. It looks like a cool game. You said they burned her body so she can rest, and now she is going through all that hell. Very interesting. I love this. I love the idea of this game is going to be running parallel to the events that are happening in the Norse realms. So I'm seeing clips already of like the 2018's God of War where you hear where like Kratos and Atreus are going about the story or whatever, but there's little moments where it's like Kratos will like turn his head and and he hears like like the like Faye's kind of like theme song or whatever, or like hearing Faye call out or something, and there's a lot of moments like that that people are starting to realize are in those original those games that I think both in 2018 and in Ragnarok. Um, so for this game to not be like a prequel or some weird um, revival of her character somehow, it's taking her to a realm that's supposed to be called like the Everwen or something. I don't know. Again, it's like I'm not familiar with mythologies, but it seems to be the Everwen is like this place where dead gods go after they die. It's an afterlife, and it's introducing a whole like multiverse of mythologies that are being mixed up in this realm. I think that's such a cool idea. It is a little bit of a I don't want to say fan servicey idea, but it's very like the whole multiverse type concept is a very a lot of people love that concept, and I think it's a very easy concept to latch yourself as a creative storyteller to latch yourself onto and be like, oh, now anything can happen. It's like Crash 4, like anything goes. It's or like when we're playing Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled and we're playing as like um the what was it, the iron or the steel checkpoint crate or whatever, and we're playing as like all these. It's just like it becomes such a, like a multi verse like hodgepodge of like just throw all the characters, any characters. It doesn't even have to make sense type thing. So, but I hope that they can find some grounding in what they're doing here with these different gods from like the Egyptian mythology and um, I think there was there's different mythologies basically. There's a bunch of them it seems. But I like that idea. I like the idea that it's running parallel with the original games or the original Kratos story. I think that's a cool concept that you could probably do a split screen after having played this new game and be like, "Oh, this is where Faye was at this part of the game in the new game, and this is where Kratos was in the point of the story of the Norse, the last two games or whatever." I like that concept, and but I'm intrigued what it can lead to. Um, because now that you're introducing like this multi-realm thing, is this game going to be like the bridge to, you know, future Kratos stories where it's like, oh, this is why Kratos is going to be ending up in like the Egyptian realm um, or the Chinese mythology or whatever, because this afterlife kind of like Faye kind of stirred the pot, and her attachment to Kratos kind of like drew him into the kind of like the tornado of all this. And now all this chaos is, it's basically just like it gives the avenue to allow Kratos to get mixed up in other mythologies and take on another story without him having um without him having what's a what's the word, kind of reverted back on on the evolution he went through in the Norse games. He grew as a character from when he was in the Greek pantheon to the Norse. Um, but if there's, say, like an assault on Kratos from the Egyptian realm, obviously Kratos has to respond. It's like, that's what's kind of interesting now. It's like, yes, he could be very comfortable in the Norse realm now that everything's good and Odin's dead and all that, but anything can really happen at this point, it seems. this game could be like really the bridge to like a whole future, like a whole entire new future for the franchise. I like that idea, but I also like the idea that even without that, even without the idea of it being like a launching pad for new games in the future, that I like the idea that, especially since 2018's game is, the entire story is done as like one tracking shot. So everything that's happening in that original 2018 game is happening in real time. So the idea of like that game unfolding in real time, being one tracking shot from beginning to end, and then having a game about Faye basically going parallel with a game like that where where a game is happening in real time. I like the idea of um and this is kind of my hope, is that this new game is also going to follow that kind of pacing of how they tell the stories, is that maybe it can also be done in a tracking shot, also be done in real time, and then when you match both of them together, you can see like where Faye might be like breaking through to the other side of Kratos' game versus Kratos breaking through to the other side of Faye's game. That's never been done before in any story I've ever seen. There's never been a sequel to something where the entire thing is running parallel to to its predecessor. That intrigues me as a concept. Now, Faye, what is her story? What can we learn about her? What can be something that's very compelling? I don't know. But I trust Cory Barlog to make it work. He made the Norse games work, or the 2018 game work, which is an impossible feat to reinvent the God of War franchise from David Jaffe's Greek saga or Greek trilogy. Now, here's the thing. You said, "Who the hell is Faye?" Exactly. It's like, who is she? But at the same time, it's like I do appreciate the fact that she is an important. She, as much as she is dead for the entire Norse trilogy, she is an important driving force to that story. So for us to explore her more, I'm interested. Now, you said at least people knew who Saul was from Breaking Bad. That's true. Now, I am open to the idea of, a spin-off working with a character that we never knew anything much about and never had the fanfare behind the character to get our asses in the seats to watch or to play. Can it be done? I don't know, but it's a bold decision, which is what I want out of something like this. He said, I really want to know why Faye and not someone like Atreus. Atreus, we played as him in Ragnarok. I know a lot of people are mixed about playing as him in Ragnarok. I think a lot of people kind of were just like, it felt like throwing a monkey wrench in the flow of the gameplay loop. People want to play as Kratos, they get used to Kratos, and then so all of a sudden we're playing as kind of like not even a Kratos light. It's just like, he's got his his bow and arrow, and he's got some moves, but like he's not as powerful or whatever. I like Atreus. I like playing as Atreus. I don't know, and I know there's a future for the character. Sure, being Loki and everything. But I am intrigued by this decision. There's something just strange about it, to have Faye be the choice. And I don't think there's any conspiracy where they're trying to, we're just trying to push the female protagonist. Like, I don't care about that discourse at all. I think that's boring discourse. What I do find a little disappointing, I think, is that this game that Cory Barlog has been working on was presented as, it's not God of War, but it will take place in the universe of God of War, but it's not. It's going to be as if it's its own IP. That's what its own intellectual property. That's what I remember hearing about in interviews or like in press releases from like from the media or whatever. Hold on, I just wanna. So for this game to like when I was watching this 20 minutes, I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, wow, this is very interesting. There's a gelatinous cube that she's talking to, played by Jack Quaid from The Boys, but nonetheless, it's a cube, gelatinous cube. It's like, what mythology is this from? I like how abstract this is. And there's a sword inside, and the ribbon's talking to. Like, it really is weird in the best way I like it. I mean, in God of War Ragnarok, you were talking to a squirrel, which was part of the mythology, I think, but it was weird too. A literal cube. Oh. This game, but what was it? What was I getting at? So it was presented as its own standalone game. That yes, it's in the God of War universe, but it's going to be like its own IP. But then you call the game at the end God of War La Fey or Lofe. And I get it. Lofe is like her full name, and it's like Icelandic and has like Norse origins to it. Whatever. Does it really scream great title? Not really. And honestly, I get you're trying to sell the game, so you need to put God of War in the title. But do you really not have like? To me, I I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I don't think it instills much confidence from Corey or PlayStation or Sony Santa Monica that they need to put in the word God or the phrase God of War into the title like that, as if Faye's story has to ride on the coattails of the brand. Like I think about like Alan Wake and Control. Those are two different titles, but they're very strongly connected to each other, in terms of like their universe. Um, think about the Nintendo games where like it's like, oh, here's Luigi's Mansion. You don't call it Mario, uh subtitle Luigi's Mansion. It's just Luigi's Mansion because Nintendo knows that people will trust the Nintendo brand, that it's Luigi this time, and you don't need to like really hammer the original title character's name onto the title. And like to me, I know it's just a title, but that's because Luigi's is iconic. I get that, but originally Luigi's iconic now, but I guess Luigi's Mansion came way later, but I guess the Mario games did kind of establish the character long before that. But do you get what I'm saying? Where it's just like it reminds me of like when like the new Futurama seasons were airing or whatever, and this show has been around since 1999, Futurama or whatever, and if you look at like the commercials, the promos, it presents itself as from the creators of The Simpsons. When showing the new Hulu season for Futurama, it's like at this point, I think people know what Futurama is. I think Futurama as a as a name already holds weight. You don't need to like be like, oh, from the creators of The Simpsons. At the same time, I get it. Faye is not. Nobody knows who Faye is. If you saw it on a shelf, you'd say La Faye. If it was just called La Faye or whatever it is, you'd be like, what is this? I guess to like the average consumer, maybe you need to kind of put God of War in the title. But I don't know. I wish they had the balls to be like, you know what? We're Sony Santa Monica. You're gonna play this game because this is gonna be a big game, and it's gonna be like you're gonna hear through word of mouth that this ties into God of War's story, in Kratos' story. It's a smart business move, but it's kind of just like, ugh. It just reminds me, imagine if Better Call Saul was called Breaking Bad Saul Goodman. Like, again, I guess you can do the argument that's like, well, we know who Saul Goodman is, so and Better Call Saul, like, we know what we're getting into when you make that title. But it's just like, I don't know. To me, the title is just a title. I know I'm just like nitpicking, but to me that was just like I was just a little disappointed when we got that title because they presented it like it was gonna be a new IP that just existed that was like connected to the universe of God of War. So I was like, oh wow, Sony Santa Monica for the first time ever, after like 20 years, they're gonna have a new title of a game that's not going to be God of War, and then it's just like, oh, it's still God of War. Okay, all right. Like, why is it called God of War if Kratos is not going to be in the story? You know, like, I mean, he is in the story, but it's just like, I get it. I don't know. That's just my little nitpick. I could be completely off base and wrong, but that was just the way I felt when I saw that. But I don't care about me. I'm intrigued by the story. I think this game's going to be cool. I'm going to be getting this day one. I think it looks cool, intriguing. I think the concept is really inspired. I think it's gonna be cool to see how they pull this off, where it runs parallel with the original games. And I am so welcome to play as Faye. I think she like, I think she's an interesting protagonist. There's an air of mystery behind her. So there's that. What else can I say? I just what you said. Of course not, because no one knows who Faye, and that's because yeah, Atreus can get away with it because people know who he is. Do they though? We know. We know. I think the gaming community knows, but like, if you saw, I don't know, like, if you're like not familiar with like God of War games, like you're just some kid in the store and you see the game called Atreus, do you do you think that's gonna sell millions and millions of copies? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I get using the God of War name. It says smart business move. People know who Saul is. I'll keep an eye on this game. I think the game's gonna be great. I trust Sony Santa Monica with this game. Um, what was I gonna say? And it looks like the Egyptian character that was kind of like holding her prisoner is the Egyptian god of war. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It starts with an S. So if there's more there's other gods in this realm, you know, like say like Ares for the original god of Greek god of war, or and then you can see Zeus. There's all the characters that Kratos probably killed are probably in this realm somewhere. So that's interesting too. Uh, yeah. So I think there's a lot you can do with this, but I also hope that they don't just rely on this premise too much, and that the actual like beat by beat personal story of who Faye is and what her predicament is. I hope that's just as gripping as the overall concept of the world that she's and the like the situation she finds herself in. I just hope it adds more to the overall God of War story, um, without it just being like a cool experiment of like, oh, this game's running parallel with the original Norse games or whatever. So imagine Hermes with no feet. I wonder if they like regain their body parts when they're in the afterlife, though. Like your residual self image. You know, it's almost like being in the Matrix. Like you can be, as long as you, however you think of yourself, will revive itself in the afterlife. But yeah, I'm completely down for this. It's really lame though that this kind of got got leaked to the public like a month before this reveal, because I think it would have been a cool reveal. I don't know if you saw, but David Jaffe, the original God of War creator for the Greek games, he was not a fan of this, and he was speaking, of course, from he's biased. He worked on the original games. Maybe there's some jealousy that he's not involved anymore, but he wasn't talking from like a culture wars perspective, like where it's like, oh, we're playing as a woman now. That's like he doesn't care about that. He says he's completely open to playing as a completely different character, or even as like a female character in a God of War game. That's fine, but he just doesn't think it was presented well, or that it. But I think it was fine. But at the same time, it's like I do feel like the fatigue of the God. It's like, I don't know. I get the criticism of just like, it would be nice if Sony Santa Monica had tried to do something completely new. Um, but it is what it is. I think I'm all for it. One criticism that keeps, or like it's like a talking point that keeps being regurgitated, that I'm in complete disagreement with, is when people say, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for anything that's great. First of all, like, nobody asked for Breaking Bad. Nobody asked for that. It's a great show, though. Nobody asked for The Sopranos. Nobody asked for Mad Men. Nobody asked for Star Wars. If you don't try new things and try to bring something new to the table, the audiences don't know what they're gonna like, or what they will be surprised to have liked. Um, I think that's such a silly argument. It's like, oh, well, no one asked for this. Well, it doesn't matter what you asked for. You get what you get. And as long as the original creative director feels strongly and is passionate about this direction of the story, then that's the most important aspect to it. I think it's cool that they're fleshing out the original Norse games. That it's the Norse games aren't a trilogy; they're a duology. But there's this third big game that's going to come out that's going to like kind of just flesh it out more. And it's not going to be a third God of War with Kratos story, but it's going to be like kind of like a sidestep story, but also kind of really like attempt to like elevate those two games that we just got with Ragnarok in 2018. So I'm interested. But other than that, I think it was a great state of play. I'm looking forward to what we're gonna get with Summer Games Fest. Can we get Spyro 4? I think it's time. Honestly, it's been 2018 since we last got a Spyro game, which was a remake. We have never got an original Spyro game, so I'm all for that. I'm at this point where it's like I used to manage my expectations, and I know we haven't gotten anything like from like the press where it's like, oh, here's the Crash Team Racing dice, like the rear view mirror dice or whatever, or here's the Spyro egg. We haven't got anything like that from Toys for Bob. But whatever, nothing's set in stone. Honestly, at this point, I'm looking forward. I think it's time. I think it's time for us to see something. You said I'm not like, completely sold yet. I'm not completely sold yet on God of War Le Fay either, but I know I'm gonna get it. I think it's so out there and weird, and it's such a cool concept. So like I know there's something to it, but how they execute it, that's the next important step that needs to be done. That I do not know if they are going to be able to pull it off. Maybe they can. I would love to be impressed with what they managed to do. So it's got to be time, yeah, for Spyro. It might be announced at Xbox Game Showcase, which is on Sunday, June 7th, I think, or whatever Sunday's date is. Yeah, so there's two shots. There's Summer Games Fest or Xbox's Showcase. I'm looking forward to it. I figured I'd do this episode in between the PlayStation showcase and what the rest we have for this week. This is basically what E3 week would have been. Because I want to at least get this God of War talking point out of the way, and obviously Wolverine and all the stuff that happened. But yeah. Other than that, I think that's that. I think I'm rambling too much. But it's a big week for games, so we'll call it there. Pelpa, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You can subscribe to Kev Plays 9490 on YouTube, and or follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. He said, "Yep." And then, other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. And I'll catch you all next time. Peace out.